Boys, today is tomorrow, and Piratesoftware, our favorite boy, is in the news, and he responded to everything. And I mean specific things that he could actually prove, alright? Because he didn't actually respond to every single thing. But he made a video essentially saying that he's going to respond to everything and have it in a nice little package. Which I'm just sitting here like, there was a few things on the bingo card that he didn't talk about, but we'll get into it, alright? So the other day on stream, one of my viewers, Mountain, came in and basically said, yo, did you see that Piratesoftware, made a video responding to everything? And I'm gonna tell you boys, he responded to some shit, right? Let me see, what is this?
This character's never been secret. I talk about it all the time. Hey everybody, there's a whole lot of weird statements and allegations and content nukes and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, content nuke.
Against me, and I've refuted those things in many different locations on the internet, but I thought it'd be good to put together this video so you guys had it all in one location, because people are fighting over little pieces of information and ones that they hadn't heard and all of this kind of stuff everywhere that they can. So if I put it all in one location, it's much easier for you guys to find everything, and then you can just divert people to this instead. Much easier. And no, I'm not going to monetize this video. I just want to get this out there so you guys...
I never get people that always say they don't want to monetize the video. I never got that shit, because obviously YouTube will put some kind of monetization on it, because obviously they're not trying to lose money on each video, unless the video is actually unmonetizable, right? Unless you upload like naked yoga, right? Something like that that's unmonetizable that no one want to... Actually, I'm gonna be honest here. Fuck that. I'm pretty sure you can monetize someone getting beheaded on YouTube at this point, because they are literally playing porn ads on YouTube. If you guys don't know, YouTube is legitimately playing porn ads. Whenever I say, I'm not saying it lightly. They are legit playing women getting penetrated or men getting penetrated. They are playing ads like that. So I don't even give a fuck. They probably put ads on everything at this point. Also, no reason to say it, just don't monetize it. Exactly, that's another thing. I never got people that were like, I'm not gonna monetize my videos. Why would you tell me that? What is that supposed to make you seem more like virtuous? I don't care if you do or do not get paid off of it. What? Boys, I'm just letting you know right now, if I ever make a YouTube apology, if I ever had to roach out, I'm monetizing that bitch to the max. Alright, maximum amount of fucking ads. That's how you do it. I'm like, mother, if I'm gonna have to make a damn apology video, guess what? I'm making an apology video and I'm getting paid off it. You ain't gonna get nothing for free from me. They were like, shit, you gotta apologize. Okay, I'll apologize. Ad. Don't make me apologize on stream now. I'm sorry. I'm ad. I didn't mean ad. Brother, I don't hit that ad button. You ain't about to tell me I gotta apologize for free now. I am not doing that. I know this has nothing to do with this, right? But I want to know what this man's sex life is like. Brother, we know about Destiny's. I want to know what this man's sex life is like. What, does he have like little ferrets crawling up his ass? Is that what gets him off? He likes little lemmy winks up there? So we're going to skip over a little bit of the video whenever he's talking about his Second Life character, Maldavius Figtree. He's just giving some backstory, some flavor text that we don't even like. All right, this is a pretty disgusting flavor. Really bitter, because it's so bland, I don't care. Neither do you, because he doesn't talk about him defacing things and DMCAing people in Second Life. He just skips over that altogether.
Now, the first incident dates all the way back to 2007 to the Woodbury University region, which was removed by admins of Second Life after Piratesoftware completely trashed the realm. So I think trolling, griefing, all that's fun, it's cool. Griefing's a little iffy, trolling's great. But the problem is when you are basically destroying a piece of history, a historical landmark that is being engraved in virtual form, it's like graffitiing Wikipedia articles. The original Woodbury University region was first trashed by Intliber, Brodigan employee, Maldavius Figtree, and then completely destroyed less than a week later by Linden Lab itself. Linden Lab deleted the region and most of its users due to its use of a headquarters for planning and executing grid raids by now inactive griefing groups known as Patriotic Nigrus. So yeah, I'd say pretty shitty. The first thing that you do as a notable member of the community is trash essentially what is historical preservation. And you want to know the reason he did it? He did it because he was kicked off the project.
For some reason, he skips over those claims of him just being an asshole and, destroying shit in a Second Life realm to where people had to delete it, which was a lot of hard work for people, and that they just had to get rid of all of it because for some reason Piratesoftware threw a little temper tantrum because he got kicked out of a project. He skips over that. All right, that's petty drama. Let's just say that was just petty drama from a 21-year-old, by the way. All right, cool. So he goes into the next drama, basically covering the whole entire thing between him and Wingless Emoto.
The first time was in August of 2024, where I had to put out this announcement that's still up in the news channel on our Discord. I said apparently some people believe that I ripped off an underage artist 16 years ago. That artist went by Wingless Emoto at the time and is now known as Mameface on Twitter. They were 17 and I was 19 when all of this went down, and no, we never did anything sexual together. We made avatars in Second Life and our work was really popular. And by really popular, I mean we were one of like the top 3 avatar creators at the time. The two of us made about $5,000 to $10,000 US every month doing this. They did all the models and I did all the programming in LSL. This is part of me being a freelancer back in the day before my career really took off. We had a falling out over pay splits and Wingless open sourced our work. Wingless wanted 80-20. Our agreement was 50-50. When I said no, Wingless took all of our stuff, sent it out to the entire world with full permissions. Second Life has a permission system where you can change the permissions that the next user has, and by checking all of the boxes, they had free reign to distribute, modify, and copy our work infinitely. They never got fired.
Nothing wrong with ERP. I be like, 19 is what he says, with a 16-year-old. Already suspicious. Lock him up.
They quit on their own and did this on the way out. Tabloids at the time do what tabloids do. We were kind of a big deal in the game at the time for the avatars we were selling, so they made extreme and idiotic statements and took the side of just the artists without reaching out to me. These tabloids still exist and people are starting to dig them up now. That's it. This is 20-year-old drama. Now here's the interesting part. Mame and I made up 4 to 5 years later. We've been best friends ever since. You can actually reach out to them and confirm any of this. We'd been talking about them coming on stream to stop this tide of idiocy because this isn't the first time. This isn't even the second time. This has happened for years. People try to do it all the time to try and take me down, and the two of us...
So it's an annual tradition is what you're saying. So I'll see you in 2026. All right.
Always shut it down together because it's wrong. It's completely wrong. And it's using Wingless, or Mameface, as a weapon to try to bludgeon me when we're friends.
Now, that was a nice response by Piratesoftware. He continued to go on to show that, Wingless Emoto was trying his best to tell people like, no, back then, whenever I was 17, he was 19, we were making these characters in Second Life. And we just, had a falling out about the splits. And some people are saying that Wingless Emoto's avatars are sexual because they're, furry in nature. And, a lot of people attribute furryism to sexuality, which I'm gonna be honest here, let's all be honest here, kind of is. Let's not play spades here. A lot of these furries are very sexual in nature, but also I guess I can see that they're not overly sexual, right? It's just an avatar, which I guess is like a little gray line. Like, you can sexualize one thing, but some people don't sexualize it in the same way, or don't see it as a sexual light. I guess it's like a catch-22. Just as long as the man wasn't actually drawing nipples on it, I guess technically they're not sexual in nature, but also the whole world around it is sexual. It's like someone saying, oh, wait, no, this guy's just wearing a leather suit because he's a superhero. It's like, leather suit? Kind of kinky. So skipping over things again, he started talking about petty drama, which is, oh, some people didn't like that he was, going in and talking with Asmongold about a video game, and he wanted to go to bat for the video game to say that, oh, it's not a bad game. Actually, they worked on the game a little bit more, and it's not as much of a scam than it was, a year or 2 ago, right? Skipping over that petty drama, who cares? We're gonna move on to the next thing. He talks about Heartbound and how everyone's right to be mad that this man didn't work on a game for a year that he promised was going to be done, and that he was not the king of time management that he, loves to say. He loves bringing out his little Excel spreadsheet, talking about how good he is at time management, but as soon as it comes down to his own game, the man just lost a year. And for some reason, people are review bombing, quote unquote, the game whenever it's like, no, sir, they're just reviewing the game now. They're reviewing the game. It's not done. You took a whole year off of developing the game, and people were like, we don't know where the game's at, and he's not responding to it.
Heartbound, the indie game that I work on. People are currently review bombing this. They're very upset, and I can understand why in some of those cases. I haven't worked on the game for the last year. I could have communicated better this entire time, though, and that's completely on me. I'm a dumbass for not putting out more announcement posts and releasing information to you guys to let you know that was what was going on, and I was stressed the entire time and acting like a fool. With that in mind, I've started putting out updates on this game again. We actually put the first one out on January 19th, 2025. I made an announcement out to the Discord about this on that date, saying that we'd be moving to monthly update builds. Everybody was really excited about this, and they're quite happy with it. I then put out a video talking about what was going on and why this all happened. People seem to really like this. It's sitting at 4K likes on it. It's got about 93,000 views, and most of the people inside of the core community were really excited about the prospect of the game coming out now. And we have it all listed in timestamps for everything that's going on there and why we're doing all of this kind of stuff. With that in mind, this led to the review bomb, but it didn't stop me from working on it. On February 1st, I released the first patch, just like I said I was going to. We put out the patch notes for it, I made another announcement on the Discord, and I plan to make the next patch on March 1st.
So he calls people talking about the game review bombing, when in general it's literally just a review of the game. You can't review games on Steam without buying the game. So if someone bought the game, played it, realized where are the rest of the patches, I think they have a right to say, I do not like the game. He's not patching it right now. What else are people supposed to do if you say, buy my game, play my game, and then they buy and play your game, and then for a year you just fuck off? Like, of course people are going to leave negative reviews. It's not review bombing, it's just called reviewing. Just because you don't like the review doesn't mean it's a review bomb. Now for the last part of the video that I think is actually, pertinent to anything that is actually going on in, the whole Piratesoftware universe. Him talking about he actually was blaming someone else in his game whenever he was the one that actually did something dumb. All he had to do was this one thing, all right? This is the only thing he had to do, and he would have never, ever had this much heat on his back. All he had to do was this in World of Warcraft.
Each other and trying to get the upper hand through different resources. In one of those groups that I was in, inside of my own guild, I accidentally pulled something with a spell called Ball Lightning, and you can see it kind of off in the back there. I thought somebody else in the group pulled this, and I was really pissed off, and I blamed the rest of the team. And the reason why I had done that is because earlier on in the fights, people just kept pulling random shit. And then I accidentally pulled random shit, and I looked like a dumbass because I was an angry dumbass. This was entirely my fault.
What? Brother, this is all he had to say a month ago. That's all he had to say a month ago. If he said that a month ago, all this bullshit would have never happened. Literally, all this bullshit would have never happened. All he had to do was just say this 1 month ago. Just take that clip and put it into him talking to the other guy in, what is his name, Yamoto, into the damn World of Warcraft. Brother, the whole thing would have been done. You're telling me you can say this a month, 2 months later? Brother had to build up the courage to say, I'm sorry. Literally, that was it. All he had to say was that. He should have just said, hey, yeah, I roached out. I'm sorry. Yo, boys, let's continue playing the game. But instead, he wanted to be an asshole in World of Warcraft and borrow so much heat onto himself for no reason at all. Now, in the rest of the video, it was just more petty drama. Everything else that he was supposed to respond to, he obviously didn't. He tried to make this seem like this was the de facto video that was gonna shut down all the haters whenever, sir, you did way worse things. Like, the next thing he was talking about was like the nepotism thing at Blizzard, and he was like, actually, one of my bosses didn't know who my dad was. It's like, all right, cool. One of your bosses doesn't know your family lineage. All right. Then the next thing he talked about was his voice being deeper. This one was the stupidest shit because all he said was, actually, I forced my voice now. That's all he said. He basically just said, yeah, I forced my voice now. Because he showed that he can still talk like his old voice, right? He goes like this, right? All he said was, I just talk like this now. That's all he said. I just talk like this now. Instead of like this, or, like a normal person. He just always is like this. Because, Thor, he has such a deep, raspy voice. Like, anyone can force their voice, my guy. Yes, it's not a voice change. All right, you got us. Hands to the air. We're under arrest. You got us. But yeah, this man didn't talk about him DMCAing the guy, right? He didn't clarify that situation. The man on Steam that never even put into the game his, likeness, because he was trying to DMCA the guy's game, and he did for a little while. He DMCA'd that guy's game off of Steam because he was quote-unquote going to put his likeness in the game, even though the guy never did, but for some reason his game had to get DMCA'd off of Steam. Even though his likeness was never in the game. He never talked about that. He never talked about a curse farm and him trying to ruin a curse farm, stop saving games whole initiative. There's like so many other things that he never talked about. He talked about the most dumbest, pettiest dramas that no one cared about. It's like, okay, you didn't use a voice change, or you forced your voice. Oh, okay, Thor, you got us. You've disproven everything. You're not, misusing the copyright system. You're not doing that at all. All right. I'm probably gonna have to go over the whole Accursed Farm Stop Killing Games initiative because I never have, and I will be honest here. Thor really did, for some reason, have a vendetta against, that whole initiative. I don't know why. The whole initiative was like, hey, you should be able to play games even once you're done supporting them. That, for some reason, that's controversial in Piratesoftware's eyes. Just like the $15 million lawsuit that Destiny is in right now. Click this video right here to find out, how did this man get into a $15 million lawsuit? But other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow.